Welcome everyone to HFN. Today is January the 1st, 2020, the first day of 2020. Hopefully you all had enjoyed your new year. Now we are embarking on a new decade of which we will see the cannabis industry either continue to see those drastic prices to the downside, or it will rejuvenate and we will see a prosperous industry forming right before our eyes for this new industry, which is called cannabis. This was an article right here that just came out on the 27th of December with the question that Aurora Cannabis could fall below $1. Now, before we look at this article and then give you our expectations of price forecast for this stock, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like and share the video. Join us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and then on our website at HueFinancial.com, because what we're delivering is definitely something of simplistic nature. We don't use that technical jargon because it's pointless. All you want to know is where is the price going to go. Now, Sean Williams, apparently he is one of the editors or writers for the Motley Fool, and he posed a question to us. Could Aurora Cannabis fall below $1 in 365 days of 2020? Now, everyone understands and knows that Aurora Cannabis is not the only cannabis company that has seen about 80% drop in value from March of 2019. Now, if you were to ask this question, could Aurora Cannabis fall below $1 in 2020 back in March? Many people will say emphatically no. There's no possible way that Aurora Cannabis can fall below $1. But seeing how this stock is trading around $2 now, it becomes a little bit more realistic. That's why they're posing this question to us at the end of 2019. Sean didn't pose us this question back in March because it would have been asinine. Many people would have thought that he would have been crazy to ask us that question when the stock was traded around $8 or $9. So, seeing that we are here faced with this question, many people may think that Aurora Cannabis is a bargain, seen from where we came from and where we are at today. But he's stating that Aurora Cannabis can fall another 50% in 2020 and then potentially dip below $1 a share. Why is he stating that? One reason is because Aurora Cannabis couldn't get their product in front of consumers, preferably on Canada. The government of Canada has been very slow in implementing licenses for dispensaries, to where the backlog of their product couldn't get to the consumers in time. The enormous backlog of licensing applications led to long wait times to plant and sell the cannabis. A lot of the finger pointing has been directed at Ontario, which only did 24 dispensaries to open. 24. Next reason is because Aurora Cannabis have their own specific issues. They aggressively try to expand their business. They had over a dozen acquisitions over the course of 3 years, and that is hurting the shareholders because in order for those acquisitions to play out, they had to issue for capital shares, which diluted the actual price of the stock. They financed all of the deals, and they did it by issuing common stock, or they went into debt. They ballooned the outstanding shares from 16 million shares outstanding to 1.1 billion in over 5 years. That's literally like an open banking account to get the job done. You don't have any money, actual cash in the bank, but in order to be a leader in the industry, you issue out shares to shareholders and investors in hopes that the acquisition that you are creating will in turn bring forth more value to your company. No matter what sort of assets are added, it's virtually impossible for shareholders to contend with this level of dilution without being hammered. Meaning that you can't get away with it. From 16 million to 1.1 billion shares issued, there's no way that shareholders can be scathed from the dilution or the potency of the value of Aurora Cannabis stock. Amongst that acquisition, according to this article, they overpaid for the acquisitions. According to their assets, Aurora Cannabis is holding $3.17 billion Canadian dollars in goodwill. That simply means the value or the premiums that they paid above and beyond the actual tangible asset. They have $5.6 billion in total assets, but 57% of that money is goodwill, meaning that their value proposition is only on a hope and wish. They got their fingers crossed, hoping that the acquisition that they did will ultimately work in the investor's favor, but it may not. Could Aurora Cannabis fall below $1? Now we're getting into the meat of the article from the question. Yes, according to this article. With 1.1 billion shares outstanding, and if the stock of Aurora Cannabis was to trade at $1, that means that the company would have a roughly about $1 billion market cap. And then on top of that, they got rid of their CEO, or their chief corporate officer, Kim Badley. He was arguably the primary cheerleader of Aurora Cannabis, and now he's gone. So who's going to push Aurora Cannabis? Now, given that they have turnover on their executive board, the uncertainty is growing as to what's the outlook for this company. That causes more doubt. Without a plan forward, that could push the value of Aurora Cannabis lower. Next is that this gentleman, Sean, is expecting a major write-down from that goodwill that we just talked about earlier. That could push Aurora Cannabis down to $1, just like Afria did when they wrote down that massive $50 million charge from that asset that they purchased in Latin America. They stock plummeted as well. If Aurora Cannabis does the same thing, the stock can push below $1. Another reason would be a financing issue. If Aurora Cannabis cannot continue to finance their operation, that will push the value of the stock down below $1. So he has some convincing points regarding Aurora Cannabis going below $1. Now, for us, we're going to update you on our price forecast in Aurora Cannabis. And our last video was done right here on the 13th of December. And we was looking for, or 15th of December. looking for the market in Aurora Cannabis to see some higher prices, right? And clearly it did not go according to plan. Now, we would have gotten out the market right on this particular day, the 17th, maybe even the 18th of December, right? So that would have been a loss of about 11% or even around 16% to the downside in price. Okay. So yes, it didn't go according to what we expected, but in that video, we did mention that it was a 35 to 45% chance that the market in Aurora Cannabis can come down to our support area of around $2. And that actually played out. So it goes like that sometimes. Okay, but yesterday, the market in Aurora Cannabis, take a look at that, 13% movement to the upside in price. We still have confirmation that the overall market is trying to hold $2 for support. So we're still on course overall to see Aurora Cannabis see those higher prices, because we are still confirming that $2 is support for this stock. So even that reason alone, we are going to see that continued expectation of higher prices in Aurora Cannabis, especially from a weekly time frame. The monthly time frame, it is still questionable. Okay, the market overall has already came and found that support is around $1.75, $1.80, and we're closed for the month of December above $2. So I'm really expecting the market in Aurora Cannabis to trade, I would say, for like from $2 all the way back down to $1.50. Okay, so we're going to play the market in Aurora Cannabis with the movement to the upside once again. Now we're going to hold, I'll say, about $1.95 for support. And I want to take it back over to the weekly time frame to see how high we're expecting the market in Aurora Cannabis to go. So I'll take it to the lows from these three weekly bars, which is around $2.35, which will give us like another 7% movement to the upside in price from where we are at. Okay. So we'll TP the market right here at $2.30, which would be about 6.5% profit, but I'm gonna extend it up here to accommodate the overall support area. Okay, so this is it. Still looking for the market in Aurora Cannabis to see some higher price from where we're trading. The weekly price chart is really where we're basing this forecast off of, because of the conclusion of the market thus far on this current weekly price chart. So we're looking for the market in Aurora Cannabis to see some higher prices. We got TP at $2.30 under the advent that we do see weakness. Questions, comments, let us know. Make sure you always maintain profitability, and I'll see you on the next one.